was dressed all in black.
Yeah, definitely.
And you thought he was weird?
Yeah, I definitely, yeah.
What was weird about him?
Just the way he walked.
Did look over at him and he was kind of like that was his face.
Kind of just like, we should just go like for fun, just to see. We don't really care like about Charlie Kirk.
That's malfeasance on all your parts if that were actually true.
And he changes clothing on the roof.
It sounds like the shooter was a tranny.
John made it clear to me, I'm never breaking up with you.
Charlie Kirk was betrayed by people who are close to him.
Your wife is not your employee.
I am really skeptical about being able to stuff a rifle in there.
Karen Reed is guilty.
I am not suicidal.
Get right up.
Yeah. You think he'd already be in place?
There was a guy like laying down with like a sniper.
And I went up to the top and ironically was very close to where the shooter was.
Like, how did this guy know that he was going to be able to just get on the rooftop?
Right.
It didn't sound like it was a firearm, which was really weird.
It seemed like it was a close shot.
Yeah, President Trump's name was actually in the Epstein files going back to February.
In that footage is your driveway, and you parked there at 11:30 a.m.
He's walking in front of my aunt's house there right now, and my cousin's house is the driveway that is taking that photo, and my CRV, the gray CRV in the distance there is my car. I parked there probably 10 minutes before he walked by.
We should impanel a grand jury, and every person involved in the Epstein child sex trafficking should go to federal prison for the rest of their life.
My way through the crowd, and I hear a shot ring out.
Oh my God.
That'll shut him up. That'll fix the problem.
There are conspiracy theories about your personal social life all day.
The FBI says the Charlie Kirk conspiracy theories are legit.
It's a very dark story that involves these donors, sponsors, influencers, a takeover of sorts that I think was happening right under Charlie's nose.
See anything that looks like a gun in his pants. We don't see it. Where is the gun according to the FBI in this video?
They said that he took it apart and then put it back together again. Shut the fuck up.
But we don't see anything there.
Cash said that they found his, what we presume was his screwdriver on the top of the building.
To be a retired detective.
It's a lot of blood just squirting out. Haven't seen that before.
I saw Charlie Kirk get shot.
This guy's not trans, but he's into furry culture and he's dating a trans person.
Tyler Robinson is or was suicidal. That is not true, and that's a very scary thing.
The left side of his neck, down his shirt, and he slumped over and he was carried off.
We're not doing it. Sorry.
Get off me! Get off me!
I think it's fair to demand a real investigation with a lot of transparency. And if they say, oh, we can't say that because we don't want to prejudice the jury or, it's going to affect the prosecution, that's not a good answer.
Hello. Welcome to Dissecting the Narrative. I think we've seen some things coming out in the past couple of days that it's just wild. I mean, I honestly am teetering on the edge of, is this whole thing a psyop? Is this all fake? And I've never been that person. I've always been the person to reject the conspiracies and to debunk all the conspiracies and to shove things off. So one of the latest conspiracies in this whole thing, and this is one that I don't think I would give a lot of weight to, but is that Tyler Robinson, the guy that is accused of shooting Charlie Kirk, that his father's company is the one that paved over the area where Charlie Kirk was killed. That's the newest conspiracy. I don't really give much weight to that. I mean, there's the company, I think there's someone called Lori Robinson, but I don't know who Lori Robinson is. His father's name is Matt Robinson. I think his mother's name is Amber. So it could be a relative, but I mean, Robinson is a pretty common name. Something like that, I really wouldn't even go down the rabbit hole. That's as far as they got, is someone with the same name. Whoop-de freaking do. I mean, I think it is weird that they were already doing construction on that site immediately. There's a shit ton of odd things in this case that actually don't make any sense. A lot to do with, just everything. There's literally nothing that makes any sense. But I saw this video and it's pretty concerning if it's true. Everything about this case is kind of scary, because I don't believe in conspiracies. I don't think, well, before this, I would never think that everything was just completely fabricated. I don't know. There's just things in this case that nothing makes any sense. Like nothing. So this guy, I'll show you this video real quick.
A set of coincidences for you to ponder, but for my safety and your safety, please do not come to any conclusions. Deal? Cool. This is Tyler James Robinson, the alleged shooter of Charlie Kirk, who a lot of us now know by name. But according to Google Trends, somebody, maybe multiple, in the DC metro area was searching for Tyler James Robinson one day before the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Okay, you see this big spike over here. That's on September 12th. That's when we all found out through the news who he was and started Googling his name. But this small spike on September 9th, that's kind of weird, don't you think? Now, what about the Losi Center, the building where Tyler Robinson allegedly shot Charlie Kirk from? Well, again, for some reason, a small number of people in the Washington, D.C. area was Googling Losi Center 2 days prior to Charlie Kirk's assassination, September 8th, 2025. What is that all about? Once again, this is when we all heard about it, and some group of people over here 2 days prior was, just having fun Googling Losi Center. Now, what about a Mauser 98? You've heard of that? Well, evidently there was pretty much no interest in the Mauser 98 until August 27th, when somebody, once again, in DC was like, I am curious about the Mauser 98. Once again, to reiterate, these are all just coincidences. And since this information has gone viral, people are now reporting that all of that data has now been scrubbed. And so this is what it looks like now. Nothing to see here.
So this particular accusation is pretty hard to confirm or deny because they're saying it's now scrubbed. So there's no way to really see it. But if that is true, if people were Googling Tyler Robinson before anybody knew anything about the kid, it's concerning. I mean, I can't find the normal amount of stuff that you typically can find about somebody. It's not available for Tyler Robinson or the trans furry roommate, Lance Twiggs, which is strange. All of Lance Twiggs' neighbors, none of them have ever seen Tyler Robinson before. They had that one kid that said, oh yeah, I saw him one time and they were making out. He was wearing all black and they were talking about a doctor's appointment. That's how I knew he was trans. So that kid was like obviously lying. But then there's a ton of neighbors that actually were like, oh my God, the shooter is my neighbor. And then they're like, oh, I never saw him. I've never seen him. I've never seen him. Nobody has ever seen Tyler at that Lance Twiggs residence, which is, I don't know. And then the neighbors in Tyler Robinson's neighborhood all say that he was a really great kid. You know, they have a very busy house. They're a nice family. They all think that he still lives there with the parents. So what the hell is going on? There's so many different conclusions you can come to, but the one that makes sense, or none of it makes sense, but the one that, I don't know, I keep coming to is like, was Lance Twiggs actually if this was like a job by like the CIA or something, was Lance Twiggs the one that did the crime and he had to find a patsy? Because it would make the most sense, right? If those text messages are real, or not. I mean, Well, I don't think the text messages are real, period, especially if his neighbors have never seen him there. And then like they just don't make sense with that he lived there. Like the one part is like, look under my keyboard. That's the one thing that suggests that he lives there, but I just don't see anything else in those texts that tell me that they live together. Like, oh, I'll be home soon, but then he's still texting him all day. Where is he? You know, like he's like, oh, my parents called. Like, was Lance Twiggs not home? And Tyler, wouldn't they be home in the house together? Just like chatting? Like, wouldn't he be showing him the phone? Like, oh, look, my dad's calling. He wants the rifle. It just doesn't make sense either that Lance Twiggs wasn't charged with anything, because if he's the one that destroyed the note and deleted the text, like that's accessory after the fact. It really doesn't make any sense. I just don't see a world in which Tyler Robinson is guilty and he acted alone. I think that there is a possibility that he's involved or that he even did it. But I just think that the narrative that we're given is just so fake. So I did look at this a little bit. Hunter Kozak was the guy that was asking the question, right? I don't think there's anything there. Simply, I don't know. It's just, you never know. You never know. What if this was like some operation? I just don't think so. I don't think that anyone is going to want to put themselves right on the, in that position that Hunter Kozak would be in, because everyone was like, oh, it's the guy asking the question, if he was involved at all. I know that people really want it to be like a left-wing conspiracy. But I don't think it is. I don't really think it's a right-wing conspiracy either. I think it's a conspiracy to silence Charlie Kirk, potentially. Unless he's still alive and this whole thing was just like fake, like maybe, I don't know. And that's like where I am kind of landing now, where I just don't understand if any of it's real. What a world to live in when you can't even see reality at all because of how many lies you're being told. How easy would it be for Lance Twiggs to grab a tile after Tyler had a shower with his DNA on it? Yeah, true. I think that, so my idea is that if this rifle really does belong to Tyler Robinson, it's going to have his DNA on it no matter what, right? Because it's his gun. Even if it wasn't his gun and it was his grandfather's, you know how like DNA, you can rule out like 99% of the population, but usually people in the same family have DNA. It's hard to differentiate unless you have a really good sample. So even if he never touched the gun and it was just his grandfather's DNA on it, it would still match to Tyler's DNA. So yeah, and the towel could have come from anywhere. It doesn't make sense to me that weapon was found right across the street. Like, then why even take it off the roof? Like, it was clearly a decoy gun. There's no way that 30-06 could have pierced his neck and then not gone through all the way. I just don't think, the neck is so small. Like a 30-06 will cut through like multiple deer or moose, and it blows a huge hole in the exit wound too. Like the exit wound is the spatter and everything. And to just think that it just didn't exit, it's just not reality. And so Kash Patel was asked, I think it was today, any updates, and all he said was, I caught him in 33 hours, much faster than Luigi Mangione. So no updates. Like, it's like, dude, no one's questioning how fast you were. Like, we don't care if you caught the wrong guy in a minute. Like, it's still the wrong guy. So I think, I don't know. It's frustrating because I think that people just want something that makes sense, and I think people are spinning. I think some people just accept the narrative. Exactly, the crazy old man. So the thing is, George Zinn, he jumped up immediately and said, "Shoot me, I did it." His pants fell down, like he made a big scene. He was like the delay tactic. I think the guy on the roof was also potentially the delay tactic. I think if he was shot from that roof, that it wasn't the rifle that they found. I think the rifle that they found was intentionally supposed to mislead them. I mean, I'd assume that this university has surveillance footage everywhere. And that's the part that really gets me, like, just release more footage. And then we'd all be like, okay, it's Tyler, you know? But the fact that they're giving us like this really shitty quality footage, him jumping off the roof and all this stuff where you can't really see shit. You can't see a weapon. And that's what we're going off of. Like, just settle people's minds a little bit and give us like a little bit more. It's not hard. It's really not. Like, they've given us a bunch of pieces that don't fit together. And it's, you know, I do think that so George Zinn he was supporting both governors. So Governor Cox is the current Utah governor. There was a post where he was supporting him in 2020, but then he recently is supporting the guy that ran against him, Phil Lyman, who coincidentally is the person who provided all of the footage. Well, he didn't personally provide it, but his family owned the houses where the footage of the alleged suspect walking around. I don't know. None of it makes any sense, but Phil Lyman is saying, at least he was fighting with Candace Owens for a while because she was kind of implicating him and his family because they're the ones that talk to the media a lot. They're the ones that provided TMZ the footage. And he was firing back at her, but he is saying, I don't understand why nobody else is asking questions. At least she is asking questions because he knows that the story that they're telling is not right either. Like, he went on, I don't know, he went on some show where he says, I think that rifle that they found was always in the bushes. I don't think it was ever on the roof. And, you know, he kind of lives in that neighborhood. All right. So in regards to the Unfuck America tour, Destiny and Hunter Kozak are similar people. They are soft people. Like, I don't think that they are planning unalivings, like, at all. And how are they going to reach out to? I don't know. I just don't even think that that tour even has like a strong. I mean, I don't know. I could be wrong. So the old man, George Zinn, there was a lot of adults there. Like, this is the thing that's odd too about this Charlie Kirk thing is there were a ton of adults there, a ton of kids, a ton of people that did not go to that school. Most of the media, people that were witnesses in the media that the media has kind of propped up, were adults that, you know, were ex-FBI, ex-military. Phil Lyman was the gubernatorial candidate. Like, where are all the kids? None of the kids really saw anything. Like, the ones that got the footage of him running on the roof, they were military. It's weird. It really is weird. I think that I don't know. I think that there's some organization that was testing to see what they could get away with, to see who would believe it, to see. I don't know. But I am glad that finally someone is covering it. Andrea Burkhart, who I don't know. I know that I didn't agree with her in other cases. But it's interesting to me, the stuff that she doesn't really question the text messages at all. And I guess I understand that from the perspective of you can't really fake that. Well, at least let me just say this. Typically, I believe celebrate data, right? We have not seen any reports where it's validated, where there's going to be expert testifying. I mean, that will probably happen at the trial. If it is contested, maybe it won't be contested. But if they're going to tell me that these text messages all came in, you know, on September 10th, most of them came in September 10th, and they're valid and they have timestamps and they're there, I'm really never going to trust Celebrate again, I don't think. Like, I mean, some of them maybe. I mean, I don't know. Just everything about it just doesn't flow right. It would be if you were writing a documentary or a drama, but it just does not feel right. So all right, so now I'm jumping off the conspiracy deep end. Well, I'll show you this guy that's, I'll put him last. All right, so this is the conspiracy deep end that I've been like teetering on the edge of. I don't want to go there. I don't want to be in this like land of everything is fake and made up. I always thought people that said that stuff were crazy. Do I still think that? I'm starting to understand them now, and that's scary to me. Because I've always been, you know, more grounded than that and more, I don't know. The roommate has been doxxed. Like, so we have footage of them talking to neighbors, and you know, the neighbors are reporting. We all know. I think we all know where he lives. Oh, and a key thing about that too is the roommate's address is not on any of the charging documents. Like Tyler's address, his only ever legal address was his parents' address. So he didn't even get mail there. But he hasn't been home. The roommate's just disappeared. Someone says like, oh, maybe he's in a safe house. To me, this is like, the whole narrative seems fake. I think what could have happened is that, yes, Tyler is guilty of something, or at least being involved. And Lance had some knowledge, and they went to him and they were like, this is the narrative that we want to go with. You're going to be the trans furry boyfriend. I don't know. Can you make that up? Like, is he just going to testify to those text messages, or do they actually exist? A lot of questions. And then like when they got to Tyler's like, I'm not agreeing that I'm like gay with a furry. You know, I could see something like that maybe happened, but to then put that information in legal documents, it's weird. Like, you're setting him up to get off if it's lies. So Andrea Burkhart did talk about this case yesterday. I think, let's see. So I think this is a key part.
2 questions based on these official photos that were released. So right here, we see his right leg in the second photo. His right leg is bent. Okay, that's bent. That's his right leg. Maybe the camera is mirrored. Okay, maybe it's mirrored. If it's mirrored, well, then there's the other leg, and the other leg is also bent. So he does not appear to be walking with the same stiff-legged gait as he was that they describe in the earlier part of the affidavit. I'm also looking at what he's wearing, and you know, these are fairly slim fit jeans. I am really skeptical about being able to stuff a rifle in there. Can't say it's impossible by any stretch of the imagination, but you know, if I'm the defense attorney and I'm looking at this, I might be inclined to try a demo, you know, see if we can try this out. Can we put these pants on him and try to stuff the gun in there and see what it looks like? Maybe it's not the full gun. Maybe it's just the barrel. Maybe it's just a part of the gun. You know, I think there's
I mean, it is, I mean, I can tell by looking at those pants that those pants do not have room for a rifle. Like maybe the scope, but the scope, wouldn't you just put in the backpack? The backpack is probably only 20 inches. I think the rifle itself is like around 40 inches. Like, that's a big rifle, but even the pieces themselves would not fit in that backpack. So it would have to be down his pants. And I think that's why they're saying that in the charging documents, because there's nowhere else for it to be. But it does not make sense. It doesn't make sense. And so this is the other one where she is looking at him jumping off the roof, which I also
There's something in the hand. Now, they say it appears to be a rifle. It looks really hard to see for me, but that doesn't look solid. That looks like a sweatshirt or something to me. So I immediately kind of have questions about the way that the probable cause affidavit is describing the contents of the video. They're telling me it appears to be a rifle. I'm looking at it with my own eyes and saying, to me, I got to say that kind of looks like a stretch.
Yeah, it is a stretch. I mean, I think that it's potentially a smaller gun wrapped in a towel. I mean, I don't know. I feel like they made that up, just like they made up the screwdriver. So like the screwdriver issue is Kash Patel was on TV saying they found a screwdriver on the roof. However, the security guard that went up to the shooting position immediately after, mind you, everyone looked in that direction and nobody saw anything on the roof. Somehow someone caught some footage of him running. But so the security guard goes up there, they see divots in the gravel, and that's how they knew, or that's how he saw like a clear line of sight to where Charlie Kirk was sitting. He didn't say anything about a screwdriver being up there. So I think that the screwdriver could have been a way for them to explain, why you don't see a gun in his pants, or, that he put it together. But a screwdriver is not even the right tool. A screwdriver maybe to put on the scope. I agree, Christina, that it does look like there is a sweatshirt or a towel, but I think that they looked at this footage and decided, I mean, it's definitely not that rifle. And so like the more that they try to make it be that 30-06, the more I'm disbelieving everything. Because the 30-06, like whatever he's carrying, it does look like there could be something under the sweatshirt or under the towel, if it is a towel. But it's not a 40-inch gun. It's something smaller. So I don't know. I don't know why they're pushing all this stuff. Like just, there must have been footage everywhere too. So were there other people running that were suspicious? Was this person's purpose on the roof to jump off to make them chase him that way? I don't really know, but if you were the FBI or you were the investigators and you just wanted to pin it on someone, you would just follow like the path that you're given, right? Like just follow this guy off the roof. The gun's right there. And it kind of seems like that's what happened. Like they followed a decoy or they themselves created the decoy. I don't know who or what or when, but none of it seems to be adding up. So now that I can take you down the conspiracy hole, this is Erica and Charlie's video. You guys might have seen it. It's been like circulating today over the past couple of days. I just find it really, really odd. Just look. I'm not even going to say anything.
How long have you been married, and when did you know it was time to get married?
We've been married since 2021. We laugh about this because our dates are so messed up because of babies. Meaning, there's so many dates to remember.
So
Anniversaries, like kids' birth
May
dates.
14th,
Yeah.
August
all the
23rd.
Things. We've been married for
How did you know it was time to get married?
4 years.
I mean,
how did we know? You just know.
It's also don't waste your time. Right?
Don't waste your time. And plus, we were ready to start our life together.
That's right. Okay,
that was an easy one.
That's easy.
We laugh about this because our dates are so messed up because of babies, meaning there's so many dates to remember.
I know. I get all the anniversaries.
Anniversaries, like kids' birth
May
date.
14th.
I'm sorry, but it's bizarro land. Like nothing about this makes any sense. She doesn't know when she was married, like 2021. It wasn't even that long ago. And that time frame right after COVID, like they probably had to wait till after COVID till people could be near each other. She should know. I mean, I just don't get it. It is so bizarre. And then he's listing off the birthdays. And she's like, we've been married for 4? How do you not know? Like each anniversary, you'd be like, first. It's only been 4. How do you not know? And that's, and that's where I'm at now. I'm like, were they ever even married at all? Do the kids even really exist? Like, I think that they, according to records, I just don't think we even see any of his life. We see what she puts on Instagram, right? And we see what he has on the Charlie Kirk show. And that's it. Like, I don't know. Like, it does seem like it's fake. And that would explain why she doesn't really give a shit, because they were never really married in the first place. Maybe he's not even dead. I don't know. But it creeps me out. Like, the way that she's so confused about how long they've been married when they've only been married for 4 years. That is absolutely insane. It doesn't make any sense. And then she's like, and the kids' birthdays. She didn't know the birthdays either. He started listing them off because she didn't even know them. I don't know what's going on. I really don't know what's going on. So he starts listing the birth dates because she's like, in the kids' birthdays. She doesn't know any of it. I don't know. None of it makes any sense. But it's creeping me out. All right. So that's one step closer in the conspiracy, is that their whole thing was just like a facade. It does make sense though, because whenever she was with him in the podcast, doing the podcast, she would talk about trad wife life, right? That, I became more conservative since we got married because I just want to sit back and do the wife things and take care of the kids. But she was running multiple businesses. She's never been a trad wife ever. Like before Charlie came along, she was doing the pageant. She had her own charity. And then she had like the Bible app. Like she runs businesses. Like she's never been a traditional wife. And now she's taken over as CEO. And it was unanimous because she is more conservative and like wants to be a traditional wife. I think it's all fake. Like they were just like preaching that and pushing that image forward. For what though? And like, was this part of it? Like, did Charlie really get shot? I mean, I look at it very closely and I don't know. Something went on with his shirt. There was some impact, but like his body didn't even really go back. Which you would expect, especially because I don't even know how fast bullets travel, but you would think, I think it's like 3,000 or 4,000 miles per hour, depending on the distance, whatever. But if something going that fast hit your spine and your spine stopped it, your entire body should have been thrown off the chair, right? he doesn't even really like move that much. He's like, he just like drops to the left. I don't know. I just don't know like what would. And then like another thing is the hospital that they took him to, it was not the closest hospital. It was, they chose a hospital that was a little further away. It also was not like a level 1 trauma center or whatever the best one is. The one that was closer was. So they went to this different hospital that was further away. All new staff there. So, and I don't know. Like, I don't know if like I would just pick someone up off the ground and try to carry them. Wouldn't you just call 911 and wait for an ambulance? Because they can give you first. The EMTs can actually like give him some treatment. Because even when they were carrying him, like no one was holding the wound. It didn't look like. So, and there wasn't like blood dripping everywhere. I'm just like, was that fake? Are they is the government trying to see what they can get away with? And then to think that like his whole marriage potentially could have been faked. Like that's just crazy to me. She doesn't seem that engaged. She doesn't, I don't know. She doesn't even seem like a mom, really. And like, I don't know. The whole thing is bizarro. So this guy, I can't tell you if I fully believe what he's saying or understanding, but like, let's see what you guys think.
It's insane how we have to talk in code on here, but I have some information I have to share, and I'm putting my life in danger by doing it. I don't feel good about this. I feel guilty as hell. This is why I'm sharing it. But there's a 3-letter agency. The letters are I, A, and C. I'm sure you can do the math on that. And I'm sure you've heard the term G-stalked or getting followed. I get paid $10,000 a month by that organization to follow people. All I have to do is follow one person a day, make sure they see me, take a video, send it in. I have a tracking app on my phone. I can see at least 100 people a day. And I get to pick who I follow. All I have to do is make sure they see me and send in the video. That's it. Just doing some creepy shit. Share this, like this, send it to your homies. If you called someone crazy for getting G-stalked, sorry, dude. It's real.
I don't believe. What is he saying? He's getting $10,000 to just do that to one person. And then he's gonna like blow up his own spot by putting it on TikTok. I don't really think it's legit, but it's interesting. I don't even know what G-stalked really means. Does that? And he's like, as long as the person sees you. So is it like you're just trying to make people feel like they're being followed? That's what maybe it sounds like he is doing, and that agency is paying him to do it. But then he's going to go on and make a video and say it. I don't know. I don't know if I buy that. I did see the interview of the kid who asked the first question. I think I did see that one. I don't know who the source of this video is, but I just found it interesting. It's to do with our peace deal stuff.
The world's leading experts on famine, the IPC, have declared it a famine. You're saying they're wrong?
The world's leading experts on famines are left-wing clowns who are anti-Semites and anti-Zionists.
You're asking the world to not believe what they can see with their own eyes on video. Why would the IPC lie about famine? It's what they do.
Because it's riddled with anti-Zionists and anti-Semites. Who are you with?
Al Jazeera English.
That's what I thought. Beautiful. What do you say about working for a terrorist sympathizing network?
I would say you don't watch much Al Jazeera English.
I'd say you're an embarrassment. You have anything more? I'm happy to keep going.
Yeah, absolutely. Can you justify genocide by saying Hamas?
You mean the October 7th attacks against Israel? That
started
genocide?
Long before October 7th.
Yes. It's been going on for decades.
Since 1947?
efforts to eliminate the Jewish people and the Jewish state? Yes.
No, there wasn't a Jewish state in 1947. There wasn't. There was Palestine. British man-made Palestine in 1947.
Palestine is a made-up fiction.
Palestine's a made-up fiction?
Yes.
That's part of a genocide there.
The whole
erasing the people, erasing the culture, erasing the country.
Okay, go ahead.
Have you been to Gaza?
No, I have not.
Maybe you should go.
I mean, I don't even know who that is that he was asking questions to. Like, he looks familiar to me. But the way that their talking points aren't even flush with the truth at all, it's concerning. You know, it's like they all have like a single script. And if they go off the script, they're going to be snuffed out or something. I don't know. Nothing about it seems normal. But I'm going to leave you with this one. So and I don't want to say like it's all boomers, but I do think that the people that watch state-run media, cable news, completely adopt narratives and have no sense of, you know, that's not right, that's not true at all. And I know that it's primarily boomers that are ingesting that and not thinking through it at all. They're just repeating the narrative. And I don't know, I just never realized how fake everything was, or how they're just, you know, these narratives, what they're doing is they're essentially like helping people like reach an identity that's dependent on lies that the government tells them so that they know who to be against or who to hate. And I feel like that's part of the plan so they can keep robbing us. And I also think that the immigration stuff that's going on right now, I think it is a way that they are going to create a new underclass where they can, you know, allow them in on temporary visas, but those visas are going to allow employers to pay them less. I do think that they're going to create this underclass so that regular Americans like us, even though we're like going to be poor as fuck because all of the wealth is concentrating on these like 13 families, all of the regular Americans like us will still feel like, oh, well, this underclass here that is poorer than us, so that we don't feel, because you need a middle class or there is like uprisings, right? And so that would be the way that they can create a middle class that's really actually just another level of poor, which is kind of what it is now anyway, based on the income inequality that we have in this country. But I just wish that people would stop falling for it. Like, other Americans are not your enemy at all. Immigrants aren't your enemy at all. People that are manipulating masses with media so that they can manipulate the stock market, so that they can make $80 million in an hour. Those are the people that are the enemy. And we all just need to wake up just a little bit. But I'll leave you with this guy's thoughts about the boomers.
The baby boomers hadn't believed all the lies they had been told their whole lives, didn't enter into a system while they lived comfy lives and taught their kids about God, maybe the world wouldn't be where it is. And there's nothing harder than getting a baby boomer to admit that they were lied to, that they were indoctrinated. It pisses them off more than anything. And it's just a realization we're just going to all have to make. You guys were lied to. And I don't blame you. They had a system that was very good. But right now, the Republican Party is tearing itself apart because of the baby boomers' support for Israel. It's only the boomers that support this demonic state because it's ingrained into their brains. As soon as the boomers come to the realization that they were lied to, we can all be on the same side.